This is the new vintage auto Opel Cayman head engine test stand. What we have on the stand today is a 2-liter factory reman engine with Redline Weber fuel injection throttle bodies. These are 40 millimeters. And you can see we have the Opel GT Source jet-coated header made by Hedman. It's been modified to accept an O2 sensor. We've also got a factory thermostat housing that's been modified on the bottom for the Redline fuel management system temperature sensor and a factory temperature sensor. We also have a vacuum gauge, and we won't be running any kind of heater, so we've got that capped off. This has also been modified for a 32 millimeter tube to accept our Honda Civic radiator out of a 4-cylinder Honda Civic, about a 99 model. It has a built-in electric cooling fan with a aluminum shroud. The unit is solidly mounted on the rear with a 4-cylinder 4-speed bell housing, and I use the factory engine mounts for the front. I've taken an electrical enclosure and modified it to accept some standard gauges. We have a vacuum gauge, water temp gauge, tachometer, oil pressure, and a voltmeter. I have an additional switch for an electric fuel pump down the road. This is an ammeter light that excites the alternator, our start button, and our key switch to turn on a unit. When this light powers on, we know we have power. I've also got an Opel GT headlight handle that I use for a throttle, which is built onto an actual lawnmower throttle cable. And when that works, you can see throttles. I've also have the air temperature sensor. This is ambient air temperature for the fuel management system. I have a bracket near the throttles to pick that reading up. Other than that, you would normally put that in an air box or an air filter housing. This is all the Redline coil mounted on the plate, and the upgraded Redline fuel pump with AN style fittings. I have AN style fitting and hose throughout from Summit Racing. I have a 1-gallon fuel cell from Summit Racing. Basically, it feeds up to the fuel pump through our inline filter up into the fuel rails, back down to the fuel pressure regulator, and then I have a return line that feeds into the top of the tank. This tank also has a vent that I've added an extra line to keep debris out of. I have a 105 amp GM alternator upgraded on this with a chrome Mr. Gasket F-style bracket. And we have a modified distributor from a 2.2 used as our trigger for this unit. Notice I don't have any kind of trigger wheel down there. I had it done with our distributor. We'll be using a standard gel cell battery. And when I get a chance, we'll have a custom exhaust that comes back with a muffler, and then it will kind of loop around and try to get the hot exhaust out of our way. I also have a port here on takeoff. This allows me to plug it into a computer, as our fuel system management from Redline is in here. I've left all the length of wire, so this can be installed into a car, and I haven't cut anything too short for being installed in a vehicle. This is also the Redline management relay box. This is also part of their programming to power up your fan, your electric fuel pump, and other things if you decide you want to go with nitrous and etc. Countdown is approaching us on actually firing this off. Powered up the unit. We get power, injectors pulse, fuel pump's pumping, and it'll finally kick off once it's primed. And of course our ammeter's lights on until it runs. It does crank over, but I have a few things to do before I can actually fire it off. I expect this will be on Tuesday. Hopefully I can have everything done to fire this off.